Hey, what's going on, Rattlers? So, a couple of years ago at the Pomona Reptile Expo, I ran into Tony Gross, and there was a gecko that he had named Frazzle who completely dropped my jaw. And I always said that if I'm ever in the Las Vegas area, I'm going to stop by Tony's and we are going to do an episode on Frazzle and all the geckos that Tony has, and not just kind of show it off for a couple of minutes in an expo video. So I'm here in Las Vegas finally, and I'm going to visit with Tony, and we are going to meet what I think is the most unique crested gecko on the planet. I'm Dave Kaufman, and these are my reptile adventures.
At Rainbow Mealworms, we grow all our insects 100% naturally so that you get the freshest, most lively feeders on the market. So for all your reptile food needs, place your order today at rainbowmealworms.net.
All right, so Tony Gross, ladies and gentlemen. So how long have you been keeping geckos? How did you get into it?
I got my first guy in '98. His name's Mustard. I still own him to this day. He's still going. And that just made my passion. I just started being like collecting. I would go to all the shows and different unique stuff I'd see. I would just get it and collect, and then all of a sudden I just started breeding to make my own things, and it just fascinated me. So I just kept on, and now here we are.
Here we are. So 98, what does that make that? 23 years?
I believe so, yeah.
So we are here to see more of Frazzle, get Frazzle's story. So, a lot of videos like show you the good stuff at the end of the video. We're going to dive right into it. Let's take a look at Frazzle.
All right.
So this is Frazzle. This is the most unique crested gecko in the world. What is his story?
He just, it was one of my quad pinner projects I did. And basically he just came out. And when I seen him when he was little, I knew he was going to be unique. And then after about like a year and a half is when all this red and all the other speckles started coming out from him. He's got it all the way around on his belly.
Look at that.
Splotches all his legs. And when he fires up, it turns a bright, bright, bright red.
And how old is Frazzle?
He's about like 5.5 now, 6, I believe now.
Yeah, because it was like maybe 2 years ago at Pomona that I first was introduced to him.
Yeah.
So now, what did he look like as a baby?
He basically just had like a little bit of like stippling, like little speckles on him.
Right.
As he just started to develop, it just got more and more intense, and then out of nowhere the red just came out. Like I said, that was like maybe a little over a year and a half-ish, or year and like a few months, and it just boom out of nowhere just came and just got more and more red and orangish.
So you could have sold this project.
Yeah, I sold a bunch of other little babies, so there might be possible ones out there, like I said, because I didn't know, like, really.
Right.
And like I said, I sold a bunch of babies for that same pairing. But yeah, he was unique. I just kept him, and I'm super glad I did.
Yeah, absolutely. So everybody watching this is now asking the same question. Have you proved this genetic?
It's like proven, but it's not super proven. Like all of them are unique in their own way, come in and they show the potential. And a lot of them I'm holding on, because like I said, they'd come out a year and a half, so they're all changing slowly here and there. And I have ones that have speckles all over their bellies. I got ones that have just splotches of black speckles on them. I got all of them been coming out like super like tricolors and like very unique in their own ways, with colorings are just pretty awesome.
So you are proving it.
Yeah.
At least in the first couple of breedings.
Yeah, I had a baby come out exactly like him. That was epic, but it didn't make it.
Oh,
it didn't make it.
no.
So, but I know it's there because I seen it. Like the baby itself came out with just a speckling all over its neck, all over its head, everywhere. So it's there, just trying to get it out. And I finally just put his daughters with him, and the first hatchling hatched yesterday.
Okay, well, that's actually pretty rare for me when I film. It's like every snake is in shed when I film, and all the eggs hatch 2 days after I'm there filming. So that's
the
good.
first one from his daughter that I put with him. So hopefully we get some amazing geckos in the future from him and see.
Wow, Frazzle is amazing.
And his crests are just epic. His structure is awesome. His head is huge, and his eyes starting to turn like a little phantom on the one side.
Oh, look at that! I never noticed that.
So like, he keeps on changing. Like he's more and more blacks coming out and stuff. Like he just keeps on changing.
So he keeps changing over time.
Yeah, and like I said, he ain't fired up at all right now. When he fires up, he gets super bright.
Wow.
You've seen him a couple of times fired up.
Yeah, I have. Well, what I was going to say earlier is, look at that head. That head has no markings. He's kind of bald, for lack of a better term, but then it just...
And even on his sides, you got all the crest and fuzz like coming out like...
Yeah, I stand by it. That is the most unique crested gecko in the world. All right, well, you have what? Maybe, I'm not even gonna guess. How many geckos do you have in your facility?
Like how we fish, I lose count.
Oh, right, exactly. Like over 100, right?
Easy, yeah.
Easy over 100.
Yeah.
So speaking of fishing, last night Tony and I went out on Lake Mead and we were nailing striped bass one after the other. And I have recently launched a brand new channel, Dave Kaufman's Fishing Adventures. So if fishing is your thing, click on over to that channel and subscribe to that channel as well. It was a blast last night, and that video will be up soon again on my all new Dave Kaufman's Fishing Adventures. So enough of the plug, back to the geckos. So there's a lot more to see than Frazzle. Frazzle obviously is the star of the show, but before we see all the other geckos, I would like to see what Frazzle's offspring looks like here. All right, so this is one of Frazzles Sons, and that is, wow, look at that belly. It looks like almost like a super Dalmatian, doesn't it?
Turns like oranges on the sides when he fires up, with the creams and olivish coloring on the top.
So what you're seeing with this gene is that, you know, the colors and the patterns, they develop basically over time.
Yeah, over time. They're just getting all different. They keep changing, it's weird.
I don't know. Do you feel like it would be safe to say that whatever Frazzle has is in fact genetic?
Yeah, it's there. I know for a fact it's there.
All right, so this one is the brother to the one that we just saw. This is another one of Frazzle's offspring.
It's got all the greenish coming on the top.
Yeah.
Like I said, not fired up right now. When it fires, it just throws all these different weird, odd coloring.
So look at the belly there.
His belly turns like an orangish in there and turns like a pinkish when it goes up. Like I said, they keep changing as they're getting older. Like I said, they're barely like a little over like a year and a few months-ish.
Man, this is an untapped gene in crested geckos right here. All right, so this is another one of Frazzles Sons. Man, look at that spotting coming out on the head, the flaming on the sides. And how old is this one?
This one's maybe like a year.
Now, have you noticed that eye thing that Frazzle has in his offspring?
I haven't noticed yet. I just noticed with him changing like recently. I just seen his eye like turning like phantomish.
Yeah, so these guys will change dramatically over time. All right, so this is another son of Frazzle. That sounds like a really bad B-movie title. Son of Frazzle. But yeah, this one, look, so I got a glimpse of his belly there, which is really kind of unique.
His belly turns super fire orange when he fires up.
Now, I don't know if the camera is capturing that, but that's not brown. That's like lavender. All right, so son number 4 here. Look at that belly. I mean, the bellies are just the most unique thing I've ever seen in crested geckos. It's like a Halloween belly right there.
Yeah.
Now, is that coloration coming in as he ages?
Yeah, like as they age, they get more like, you see now this one got big, huge yellow porthole spots on the sides, and then just the tri-coloring, the creams, the orange, the darks. Like I said, they just keep changing, It's like, so like I said, even Frazzle now, he's, you know, what, almost 6-ish, and he just keeps changing with age as well. So that's why it's like, I don't know if it's something that changes just with age, they just keep going. That's why I've been holding most to just see, because it's just, they keep changing. And there's little black tip toes. I like that on these guys. See how his tips of his fingers are black?
Yeah. Looks like he has like goth fingernails. That's awesome. So this is fresh hatched yesterday, right?
Yep.
What do you think, I was born yesterday? All right, so that's what Frazzle's babies look like as babies. Look at that collar he's got going on. I bet this guy develops into a coloration very similar to Frazzle. We move on to this side of the room, and this is the beauty of breeding geckos, is that all of these eggs are just sitting out on the table incubating at room temperature. You don't need an incubator. And then what do you use for substrate here?
It's a super, it's like, I believe it's super hatch.
So this is what you're incubating your eggs on. This is Pangea Super Hatch.
That's what I found to work the best.
Yeah, okay.
I tried to vermiculate this, that when they hatch, some of it goes in their mouth or they open their mouth when they're babies. I had problems with that. This has been working the best.
This is the
easiest to control.
And we love Pangea. They're a great company. So this is what you're incubating your eggs on. So who do we have here? We have a lot of Cresties here.
There's Cresties. I got, these are lychees, gargoyle eggs, and more gargoyles. These are Ceres enormous. These are just some Cresteds.
Yep, just let them incubate on a table in room temperature. You just can't beat how easy that is. All right, so this is yet another room full of geckos, and we're using the tub situation in here instead of the front opening enclosures. What do you prefer best, the front openers or the tubs?
Well, most of the tubs are like ones that I'm be selling or eventually gonna pair it. Like I said, I just in the process of redoing all my room and whatnot, so I had to put it in tubs. It's easier to move them around.
Sure.
So now I'm getting everything set back up.
I myself prefer the front opening. They're just much more aesthetic. But you know, these I think might keep more humidity in the enclosure. Yeah, it's a toss-up.
This is one of the hybrids.
So that's a
Chihuahua crested with a crested.
That is really interesting. You know, when I was in New Caledonia, we were finding crested geckos, and on a tree right next to where the crested geckos were, you have Chihuahua geckos. But obviously, you know, we never saw the hybridization naturally occur out there. Otherwise, it would have been in my videos. All right, so that is one amazing gecko. What do we got there?
This is another hybrid I was working on, and a lot of them that have been coming out as like a tigerish, red tigerish. And I got a couple that are like that. So
and this is also a chewy with a
chewy, yep, crested.
I've never seen a gecko like that before. I mean, usually like the one we just saw, you know, looks nothing like this guy.
This is one of my favorites. When it fires up, you just see all the red spots in it. It's just red spot hybrid. It turns like an orangish pink when fired up.
Wow. This is yet another Chihuahua crested hybrid. But man, every single one of these is different. That one almost has greenish blotches. Now, were these the same parents as the red one?
I have like 4 or 5 different groups going.
Gotcha.
I got ones with Dalmatian ones. I got ones with reds. I got ones with I'm doing like a lily one as well going. I got a few different ones all going.
All right, so that gives you an idea of how big these hybrids get. They don't get as big as a chewy, but they get much bigger than a cresty. So guys, comment below, let me know what your thoughts are on hybrids. Are they a good thing? Are they a bad thing? Are you for them? Are you against them? And why? Comment below, let me know. So all of Tony's links are going to be in the description below. Go and check him out while you're down there. Check out our sponsors as well. And guys, as always, thanks for watching. And until the next reptile adventure, love the planet, feed your reptile obsession, and rattle on.